Welcome back, guys, to the third part of this Vine Stalker Berserker character. Last we left off, we were able to get all the way through to depths, so that means everything except for our third rune and Zod itself is completed on this character. And so now the thought is, okay, what's going to be our third rune? And my default, whenever I have high regen, is Abyss. So I find my Abyss portal and I just kind of work my way through. Now, of course, if you're not familiar with Abyss, you can get like ported around, and you're trying to find your downs to down to Abyss 3, and then the rune has the potential to spawn on Abyss 3 in some sort of like vault scenario. And your goal is to kill creatures to generate exits, but not too quickly, so that you want your exit to be nicely paired up with your killing or acquiring of the rune. And so I kind of defaulted just because I like to have high regen on an Abyss, so that you can just keep running and just top yourself off. It's not like you're constantly never regenning because there's always creatures on you. I just feel like that's a nice little synergy. However, I am working my way through here. I'm only Abyss 1. I never got Abyssed in the game, so I didn't ever get like shoved lower and lower and lower. And I'm just not feeling it. And I'm like, here's an exit. Okay, one of my policies is I always take an exit just to reset the counter for the mob clearing. And I'm like, okay, let me see. Have I been mutated? So then I look up my, I don't know if I do, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do slime. I'm powerful enough that I can just handle it. I've got kind of the throughput, the R core, and the R poison to deal with most of these mechanics. So my thought is I could probably build my R fire up to perhaps do some immolation popping strategies on the royal jelly. And so I'm just quickly clearing down. When I do slime, I clear down to 5 kind of, and I had an extra rev scroll, by the way, at this point. So now I know what my 5 is looking like. And so now my plan is I'm going to clear the 3 areas if I can get access to them, and then activate the royal, which I assume will be in the center. And then what I do usually is then I'll clear, either I do 4 and then I do 5, or I do 5 to poke and then I do back to 4. But the point is that I'll go back up and then reconnect myself to all the stairs so that I can get access to everywhere I need to go for Slime 5 for safety and escape purposes. So let's take a look. What I'm doing right now is I'm going like, okay, how can I maximize my fire? What's my strategy here? And so I'm starting by putting the fire ring on, and I'm like, actually, you know what? I can't go higher than this unless I put the fire ring on, or the fire body on from the dragon scales. And so I think I'm gonna finesse it a little bit more at some point, but otherwise I'm ready with my fire res, so I can use it for using an immo scroll if I want to. Okay, so now I'm just trying to find my access to the other stairs, and sometimes you just don't get it. Slime can be like that. Anyway, I'm going to clear this way manually, and then I'm going to clear the other way manually, see if maybe there's the stairs there. And it turns out that, nope, not here. So short of blindly dig scrolling around, I'm going to go up again and then try to find a down that's accessible, and see if I can get some other like hub of activity here. So I find another one. So let's clear this one. And you don't want to push too hard. You don't want to get too engrossed and then accidentally trigger the royal before you're ready. So let me just kind of work my way around here. And that's good. Note that there's an alarm there if I need to use that. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's get to the other one. So it's clearly not accessible here. Let's go up one more and see if I can find the third down, so we can see the bottom left hasn't been cleared. So let me find it. But then I realize both downs are going to be there. One's by itself and one's over there. And so it's like, actually, there's no access to the top right. And then I trigger the Royal Jelly. So I'm going to back away. I'm fragile. I'd rather not attack here. And so now I'm going to pop some potions, pop my guy. I probably should have done potions before guy, because the guy's going to start swinging on the jelly and create the dudes. But if we take a look here, he's actually almost dead, but I'm almost dead. So I pop my immo, and then I blink away. And then I will use my Gels to mess around and hopefully pop one of the dudes. So this is the power of 0 evocation evocables. I'm looking, I was like, where's my immo? Okay, let's pop it. And then now let's Gels into like together. And then if that doesn't kill something, well, then I'll do another one. And poof, everything's dying. And now I'm going to also Phantom Mirror the Royal while he's here. But look at that, he died anyways. And so I pull away. And now it's as simple as just getting away. I can blink scroll, I can haste here, but I actually don't get caught up in any meaningful way. So then I can just clear here. And now I can use the other down to... well, I'll reset my stats because I don't need the Art Fire anymore. And now I'll just clear them safely. And to be safe, I don't even go down that one. I'll go down the other one. And I'll just kind of leash now with everything. There's no need to rush. I'm sure some slimes eat some like edible stuff there. I don't know how it works with regards to that. But I'm in no rush. I can get my rune. I'm good. And so that's a way to, as long as you have R Fire and Immo scroll and maybe some blink scrolls or something to like pop at range, like Gels, or like, I don't know, summon, do like a summon scroll just to have guys swinging away at things, or however you want to kill them. But yeah, that's a very simple way of doing the Royal Jelly as melee very safely. And now I'm just going to Stare Dance. And honestly, I could have gone down the different down or whatever, but I'll just Berserk through this. Call it a day. Clear it out, and now work my way in. There'll still be guys around, whatever. It's not too bad. And now I got a bunch of free stuff. Doesn't hurt. That's one nice thing about slime, is that you do get all this items as well. Really nice ring. It's basically a ring of resistances plus some other various little bonuses. And there's also going to be a body piece that I don't recognize. I'll inspect it for a second here. It actually could have had potential, but I didn't want to risk messing around with my balance here. It wasn't more defensive. I think I lost 5 evocation, or not evocation, evasion. But you can see the Justicar's Regalia. It lets me have another amulet, as well as Inspire, which is less relevant. It makes anything you spawn, like a summonable or like a friendly creature, a little bit more regen on them. And it's like, I'm not going to be really using my buddies that much to, like, I don't know. But that's a cool little piece of armor that I didn't recognize before that I'll just bring up as a note. So anyway, I read this acquirement. Storm Dragon's not really relevant for me. I mean, getting the Aralek would have been cool, but whatever. But anyway, I just take the book of, I think it was Evasion, just to get some bonus. Or maybe it was Dodging. Oh yeah, the book of would be Dodging in that scenario. Blah. So now I'm just making my final purchasing decisions before I delve into Zot, because at this point I'm not going to be buying anything in Zot, almost certainly. So just dump this gold, buy everything I can. One thing in Trunk, which this is 0.34 or whatever it's going to be, that's the number it'll be when it's released. You don't get negative mutations as much anymore. Everything's kind of been diverted off to what's it called? Banes, I guess you could call it. So you don't really use potions of mutation that much. So I haven't really explored it too in depth, but I do use some mutations in a bit here. I wonder how aggressive one should be to take advantage of some large store of mutation potions. Because I think I have a lot, actually. But anyway, I've spent all my gold. I decided not to buy those. Yeah, I've got 9 mutation scrolls. I've decided not to buy those gloves. My thought process was I have good resistances now. And if I wanted RN, there's a ring that's going to be RN2 ring that I'll have if I do want to bring that up. So anyway, if we look here, this is a very unfavorable entrance to Zot. All my stairs are shoved into like an end vault thing. And so I'm going to start exploring around, and I have to do it the hard way. There's no skip in this. I have the power to like do a full skip of Zot if I wanted to, just like do efficient downwards. But unfortunately, as you'll see, I don't really get very many skips today. So I'm just clearing away, whatever, clear. Let's go. Let's go around here, clear everything I can, and I get shafted. Nothing scarier than getting shafted or teleported in Zot. So we have this kind of like elemental path version, like insert, and my ups are not convenient. And even if they were convenient, guess what? They're all in that little end thing. So I have to make this work. The good news is I'm in the little corner here, and while I am aggroing the side little corner triangles, it's not the worst thing in the world. So I go, what should I do now? Well, I'll clear this one. Well, okay, cool. Let's go for an up. And unfortunately for me, as we'll see here, this little corner space is absolutely packed with creatures. I almost die here. I just get overwhelmed with stuff, and I'm like, okay, I can escape up. And then I'm like, oh no, I actually don't have this cleared. Perhaps what I could have done is gone a few steps over and gone down a different down to like at least activate a different space. But I don't. And then I'm like, oh my, I'm surrounded. I have very little control here. I've already berserked. So what can I do here? I'm like, can I like pull these guys away? Maybe I can blink. And one thing I remember in the moment, but I still decide to do is, well, first I invis because that's nice. And I'm like taking too much damage. I need to get out of here. So I'm going to try to blink here. And unfortunately for me in this first blink, it's a fuzzy blink. And this is not a great one. So I'm like, well, I'll do another blink. Oof. Okay, what can I do here? And then I bring out the old butterflies, which can distract them enough to let me have some breathing room to regen some health. Because remember, the big problem here is that I don't regen. I'm I do regen, but I can't use a healing potion. So I have to get ways to give me time. And so thankfully I do get some time popping stuff to distract. I do have a lot more butterflies if I need them. But at this point, I can probably clear this out. I have invis, so the draconians don't see me. I get my health back, and I'm okay. I also used a frog scroll there. That helped too. But I did it. I somehow survived that aggressive situation. And so now my goal is to reestablish in this corner and hopefully find some breathing space here in this after being trapped downwards or shafted, I guess, the official term. All right, so let's finish off this little staircase here. There's still a few guys left. And let's build some safety net here. Cool. All right. So I go, let's do it down because I know the up might not be pretty safe. I have all my rev scrolls. Let's go up, see if I can get into a different part of the fight. I do. It's a little much. I stare dance it. I might have gone back up, but then I see the golden dragon here. So I'm like, I can't push it. And I go up and go back down. I want to, I don't go back down. So now I'm going to clear my way up to the other side of what I encountered earlier. A little bit, but I don't want to push too far because I haven't cleared this inner thing. Cool. Use my edges. Very scary draconians. The these ones. And let's kind of clear away from the other side. Get those Berserker Moths before anything else. That's the greatest feeling ever, just to snipe a Berserker Moth, or leech it and just by itself take it out. And cool. So we've done that, but I noticed that, of course, I don't have access to that other part. So I'm like, well, I know I have an up here. Maybe I can access it. And so I start doing my Zot 3 here. Just to kind of get my bounding here and get up to here, because I know this is that specialty area. And it is quite overloaded with creatures, as we'll quickly find, and so I have to do like I'll come back here later. I do get to snipe that though, but the Draconians really don't play ball with me, and they kind of stay away, and so I can't really do a full-on stare dance here, at least to my liking. See, they kind of pull away, and so it's like, okay, I don't want to just get like sniped by poison and like die in 2 turns. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll do some some Zot 3, cover my bases around here. And so if you notice, Zot 3, it's like a specialty vault, but it's a safety one. It's like one that you have to commit to. It's not one that you get exposed to by just existing on the floor. So that's nice, I guess. At this point in the game, I usually don't do the specialty vaults if I don't have to on Zot. There's just like, I've got the power to win. Nothing's gonna probably change the equation in those vaults. It can only add opportunity for death, so I tend to avoid those ones. But yeah, Zot 3's done. So Zot 2's done, other than that specialty little space there. So I do want to finish that if I can. So I try again here. Not too bad. Got light on there. And now, so our Zot 2's done, our Zot 3 and our Zot 3 is done. So now we got to finish off by, or at least reconnecting ourselves into Zot 1, because remember, we were shafted. So this can be very difficult. You have some play with the different ups, but they all go to the same place. And so it's about trying to get these Berserker Moths and like not over aggroing. It's not like I have all the rest of the map cleared except for this, let's call it castle, this forest castle, whatever you want to call it. So I got to be very careful here. Almost pretend that this is like the entrance to Zot, like Zot 0 to Zot 1. It's just inverse, you know? Whenever you have summoned enemies, use stairs, because when you go down and they chase you, they lose all their summons. So that's a little tip there. This one is actually really scared me. I would like corner trap, like turn the corner, boom, Berserker Moth and toes. Very scary, but I was able to berserk through it with the help of my guy as well. And so now I'm just trying to get out of here, trying to clear my way out. I noticed the Storm Queen shield. I do pick it up to get like Aralek on a stick. I don't have an Aralek ring, so a shield is like the next best thing. If for some reason like my Zot 5 entrance is like 5 Alek guys, it's like I can kill one by itself, but if there's like 5, I can't do that, so I would put on that shield. But I've kind of broken out now, so I have reconnected. I will finish the clear though. Doesn't hurt at this point. Use my edges here and auto explore through. All good. And so now I'm done Zot 1, 2, and 3 with 4 on the go. So let's go down and then down. Not great convenient downs, by the way. They're not really near my ups, but that's fine. Zot 4, I have a Revelation Scroll, and once again, I have a very inconvenient experience for Zot. And we got a Josephina. Let's take it out. But I keep getting these ones where I have to full clear, so I made the mistake of committing once again to this floor, and I got constricted. I have the Berserker power through. I have the R cold to handle these cold mobs, but probably should have gone down a different one, but it's okay. And now I'm just kind of working my way through, and I'm purposely avoiding clearing this little whatever this all the stairs are in. Who knows what's in there? It could be 5 orbs of entropy. Who's to say? I just don't want to risk doing that if I can avoid until the end of Zot 4. So I'm just gonna explore around here and grab valley where I can see it. This is scary. I don't have RN on me right now, and this tells me this is some sort of like tomb, crypts, exit, vault, whatever you want to call that. And so on my mind, while I re-clear everything else here, is to get some RN, and obviously I don't have the gold to clear out or buy out the gloves that I had from that Go's Egg store. And so I'm looking at this body piece and I'm like, actually this might be a good body piece now. So I go put on the golden dragon scales. I lose some EV, but I do gain like an extra fire res, for example, which will be good for like balance purposes, which is perfectly fine by me. And I keep everything else that matters that the body would be switching. All right, and so I'm just gonna finish off clearing the floor other than whatever the end thing is called. Good news is I just kind of snipe off some Berserker moths, and then at this point I'm just like, I want some RN. How much RN do I have? None? Okay, what do I have? What do I have? What do I have? And then I notice I have the ring. It's like a +2, it's like +2 RN +1 fire, and I'll go, okay, cool. I'll throw that on. In a second here. There it is, the Ring of Quimtox or whatever. Quimtoxu. So then I go in there, and now I can at least take some hits from these RN stuff. And it's funny enough, like I said earlier, we have the orb of entropy today, so that also helps address that. I have the R core from other things, and now I have the RN to be like reasonably defensive against things like this. As you can see, I'm barely taking damage from the spew, whereas before it was actually relevant damage. So here's when I pop some mutations. I'm like, let's cycle through. I actually don't end up getting rid of everything, but I got R fire, and I'm like, cool, I'll just cap off my R fire, call it a day. Just whatever. Yeah, so now we're heading into Zot 5. This is the new trunk Zot 5. And so in this one, it's like the second you have killed your first Orb Guardian, the Tesseract, Orb Tesseract or whatever it's called, becomes active, and it starts spawning the creatures on the floor. Otherwise, you have creatures in the starting pre-lung and a few creatures in the lung portion, mainly in the back part of the lung. And so you can do various ways of dealing with the Tesseract, which will be kind of between the two lung parts on either side. Either you try to purposely avoid and like get right in there before you've summoned any mobs, or you can do it the slow way like I did with my last character, where you just kill the Orb Guardians when you would have killed the Orb Guardians before, and kill things as they appear, but otherwise slowly work your way through to clear the permanent mobs, and then you're eventually have access to the Tesseract. You kill it with whatever you got, and then you it's like your regular Zot from now on. And so I decide I really want to learn how to do this Tesseract in a normal way, just like I did last game or last character, the Poltergeist Enchanter of Hep, where the Hep was in a Hex type of Ancestor. So this one I'm just going to kill my Orb Guardians. But first I must finish off the pre-lung here. which is a little bit more difficult than I had hoped. Just like, get here, let me stare dance you. And the creatures keep coming. Okay. Love the anti-magic. It really helps out, especially as a berserker. Yep, so just a few more pre-lung creatures to go, and then I'll be good to go here for lung work here. There you go. So as we can see here, and we'll see in the future, our left is non-accessible, but not dangerous. It's not like a Zot trap or it's a teleport trap. It's not a dispersal trap. Anyway, I dig a hole here. I do like a tight turn when I'm dealing with these orb guardians, but look, the Tesseract is active. We're going to be using the right, and so we're clearing towards the right Tesseract. So I'm killing things. I'm not going to rush it. I'm just going to do it like I used to, and I'll see how it feels. I do look up alarm trap. It's curious. And so I'm just going to look over here, nothing over there, and let's work our way through the right lung from our perspective. So far, pretty empty. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to pull back. Maybe I would have rushed and be like, oh, there's only one guardian. No, I'm just going to poke and pull. Poke and pull. Because from my understanding, there's now orb guardians at the door, orb guardians in the orb room, and orb guardians around the Tesseracts. So you're always going to have something there. Don't rush it. Unless you have a very specific use case. Like you have like the best stealth ever, and you can walk up to it and somehow, stab it before it even exists. So I do Zerg this one, and then now I'm just going to run away. And note, that's the new Orb of Entropy. That's what it looks like. And I'm just going to run it out. There's no rush now. I have killed the Tesseract. Nothing new will spawn. We're done here. And as you can see here, it has Bolts of Draining, Ill Omen, which is like a Doom mechanic, and Acid Ball. So if you have R-Core, RN, you're probably okay to kill Orbs of Entropy within reason. So I might up, I power level up, and feels good. I have anti-magic. It affects the orbs, so that helps them not cast as well. And I just kind of power through, kill 2 orbs, call it a day. Let's reset it, and let's head our way up into the right. There are real mobs still. It's not like there's 0 mobs, so don't just like play dumb and run into like danger. Just take it slow. All you know now is that nothing new will spawn, because the Tesseract has been killed. So just kind of creep around like you used to. And now you just know that it's kind of a lighter experience now. At this point, there's nothing too crazy to do here. There used to be crazy mobs back here. Now it's a little lighter. And this is a very favorable Orb Guardian clear. There's no like trap in the way, nothing like that. So I'll just kind of poke and prod, get them out of there, use the corner. However, I decide, probably incorrectly, that I'm just going to immediately pop, like I'm going to clear these, whatever, and then I'm going to pick up the orb and just haste and run to the right. I think that's a mistake now. I think I should still clear a little bit into the left so I don't aggro any guys who are around the corner to the left. Because I do, and I almost die, and it almost felt bad. So let's watch it happen. I go, okay, I'm good, oh, whatever. Pick up the orb, and then immediately I'm taking my haste, I'm gonna walk right, and I happen to summon things here. I suppose he's screaming away, and then these guys spawn, and then all the guys from my left come at it out there. And so I think best practice is actually I should always clear out the left part a little bit, even though it feels like, oh, I can save some time. Good news is I popped a teleport, and a teleport brought me exactly where I wanted to be. I'll heal a little bit, and now we're beginning our run back. I'll use my Trog's hand to do some regen on the go. Of course, the nice thing about being a Vine Stalker is I have regen on the go, which is a little different than when you're someone who wants to like sit at a stair. I don't really have to sit at stairs that much when I'm running back. So as long as I control the creature situation, All good. So let's just begin that run back. So far, so good. Working our way through depths, and we're already out of depths. That was a quick right out of depths. And now let's try to make our way through dungeon, all the way to dungeon 1/dungeon 0. And I do take care for Tislix or whatever they're called. Those are very scary creatures. I'm already at dungeon 5, dungeon 4, dungeon 1, and here's our exit. So this was a successful Vine Stalker Berserker kill. We had some fun all through. Great weapons, good armor, lots of rings, lots of evocables, and it shows you how you can use evocables even when you have 0 evocation. We showed off the power of using scrolls like fear and butterfly and all these types of things that you wouldn't normally think of to just like save you and mid to end game. We tested out Vine Stalker's kind of poke ability and lack of poke ability in some cases, which was fun. We showed off the power of flying for shoals and various things like that. And just, taking it safe. I played it pretty fast, an hour and a half basically to win the game. But as long as you play it safe, you're going to win as a Berserker, as long as you use your abilities in the correct manner. So thanks for watching. See you in a bit.